The stars twinkled in the dark expanse of space, but a dark shadow loomed over Earth. An enormous alien armada approached, its ships moving in perfect formation. The fleet consisted of hundreds of vessels, each larger and more powerful than anything humanity had ever built. The aliens were confident, believing their advanced technology and sheer numbers would easily crush any resistance. They had come to conquer, convinced that humans were weak and unprepared. On Earth, alarms blared throughout military command centers as the news spread. People rushed to their stations, faces filled with concern and determination. In a secret base on the moon, high-ranking military leaders gathered around a massive holographic display. They watched the alien fleet as it drifted closer to Earth, the holograms showing the size and power of their enemy. "Commander Lee, what are our options?" a young officer asked, his voice trembling. The mood was tense, with fear hanging thick in the air. Commander Lee stood tall, his jaw set with resolve. "We may not have their technology, but we have something they do not. Heart. We must unite and show them that humanity will not back down." As the commander spoke, a team of engineers worked tirelessly on a massive spaceship, hidden from the eyes of the aliens. This was the USS Valor, humanity's newest flagship. Its design was sleek and powerful, equipped with the latest weapons and shields. The crew had worked day and night knowing that this ship would be their last line of defense against the impending invasion. Meanwhile, in the heart of the alien armada, the alien commanders gathered in their war room. They were tall and imposing, their skin shimmering in hues of green and blue. The leader, known as General Zarkon, surveyed his officers with a smug smile. "These humans are nothing but insects. We will crush them under our feet." His officers nodded, their faces filled with arrogance. They discussed their plans to invade Earth, laughing at the thought of humans trying to resist. They believed that no creature could stand against the might of their fleet. As they made their plans, the general's mind buzzed with visions of glory, of conquering a new planet and claiming it for their own. Back on the moon, Commander Lee addressed his team. "We need to be ready for anything. The aliens think we are weak, but we will show them our strength." His words sparked a fire in his crew. They were not just fighting for their lives, they were fighting for their families, their friends, and their future. The team worked quickly, testing the ship's systems and preparing for battle. Each crew member felt the weight of the responsibility on their shoulders. They had trained for this moment, but the reality of facing an alien armada was overwhelming. As the day passed, the alien fleet moved closer. The sky turned a deep shade of purple as the sun set, casting an eerie glow over the Earth. The citizens of the planet remained blissfully unaware of the danger approaching. They went about their daily lives while the military prepared for war. Finally, as the stars shone above, the USS Valor was ready. Commander Lee and his crew gathered on the bridge, their hearts racing with anticipation. They knew that they were about to face an unimaginable threat. "Today we fight for our planet," Commander Lee declared, his voice steady and powerful. "We are not just fighting for ourselves. We are fighting for all of humanity. We will not let them take our home." The crew nodded, determination shining in their eyes. They were ready to face whatever came their way. As the alien armada loomed closer, they felt a sense of unity and strength. The fight for Earth was about to begin, and they would stand together against the impending darkness. Little did they know, the USS Valor would soon emerge as a beacon of hope, challenging the invaders and showing them the true strength of humanity. The stage was set for an epic battle, and both sides would soon learn that underestimating humans would be their greatest mistake. The day had come. The USS Valor was ready to be unveiled, and a sense of anticipation filled the air in the secret moon base. Crew members hurried about, checking systems and preparing for the flagship's launch. Outside the massive hangar doors, the vastness of space awaited, and the threat of the alien armada loomed just beyond. Commander Lee stood at the front of the command center, his eyes fixed on the massive doors that separated them from the unknown. He could feel the tension in the room. It was a mix of excitement and fear. This was not just a ship. It was a symbol of hope for humanity. "Attention, everyone!" Commander Lee called out, his voice echoing in the hangar. The crew quickly gathered around, their faces filled with determination. "Today we reveal our flagship to the universe, the USS. Valor is more than just metal and technology. It represents our spirit, our fight for survival. We will show the alien armada that humanity will not back down. With a nod from the commander, the massive doors slowly opened, revealing the USS, Valor in all its glory. The ship was magnificent, with sleek lines and a shiny hull reflecting the light of distant stars. It stood tall and proud, a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. As the crew stepped forward, gasps of awe filled the air. The flagship was unlike anything they had ever seen. Its design was futuristic, with sharp angles and a powerful presence. It was equipped with advanced weapons systems, powerful shields, and an array of technology that had been years in the making. "Prepare for launch!" Commander Lee shouted. The crew jumped into action, their excitement pushing away any lingering fears. They had trained for this moment and were ready to defend their planet. As the USS Valor powered up, the engines roared to life, sending vibrations through the ship. The lights flickered as the control systems activated, and the crew took their positions at their stations. Everyone felt a sense of pride. They were part of something bigger than themselves. "Engaging launch sequence," the pilot announced, his voice steady. The ship's massive thrusters ignited, illuminating the hangar with a bright blue light. Slowly, the USS Valor began to rise, lifting off the ground and heading toward the open sky. Outside, the vastness of space awaited them. The crew felt their hearts racing as the ship ascended, breaking through the atmosphere and entering the darkness above. Commander Lee looked out the viewport, his eyes filled with determination. "Once we enter the battlefield, we need to make our presence known," he said. "Send a message to the alien fleet. Let them know we are here and we will fight." As the flagship soared through space, the crew prepared for their first encounter. They knew that the alien armada was out there, waiting and watching. But instead of fear, they felt a surge of confidence. They were no longer just humans. They were warriors, ready to defend their home. "Commander, we have visual contact with the alien armada," the sensor officer reported. The massive fleet appeared on the screens, a dark wall of ships stretching across the stars. They were formidable, but the USS Valor was not afraid. "Let's send them a message they won't forget," Commander Lee commanded. The crew began to transmit a warning to the alien ships, urging them to turn back. "This is Commander Lee of the USS. Valor, you are trespassing in our territory. Leave immediately or face the consequences." The voice rang out through space, clear and strong. The alien ships paused, their commanders shocked by the boldness of the human flagship. They had expected an easy victory, but now they faced a formidable opponent. Commander Lee smiled, sensing the shift in the air. As the USS Valor glided through the stars, the crew felt a sense of unity and strength. They had unveiled their flagship, and now it was time to fight. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy its true power. The tension in the air was electric as the USS Valor faced the looming threat of the alien armada. Commander Lee stood on the bridge, his eyes locked on the massive screen displaying the enemy fleet. The alien ships were larger and more numerous, but the humans were ready to fight for their home. They would not back down. "Status report!" Commander Lee commanded, his voice firm. The crew quickly responded, their fingers flying across the controls. "Shields at full power, weapons systems online," the weapons officer announced. "We are ready for engagement." "Good," Lee replied, feeling a surge of determination. "Let's show them what humanity can do. All hands prepare for battle." The USS Valor moved into position, its sleek design cutting through space like a knife. The alien armada, once confident in their numbers, now appeared uncertain. Commander Lee knew they could sense the resolve of the flagship, and he hoped it would give them pause. "Fire a warning shot across their bow," he ordered. The crew quickly complied, and a bright beam of energy shot from the USS Valor, illuminating the dark expanse of space. The shot struck the empty void in front of the alien fleet, sending a clear message they were ready to fight. The alien ships shifted nervously, but General Zarkon was furious. "Who do these humans think they are?" he bellowed, his voice echoing in the war room. "They dare to challenge us? Prepare to attack! Show them the true power of our fleet." "Commander, the alien ships are moving forward," the sensor officer shouted. The screen showed the massive fleet advancing, their weapons primed and ready to fire. "Brace for impact!" Lee yelled, gripping the armrest of his chair. The crew steadied themselves as the USS Valor prepared for battle. Suddenly, the alien fleet unleashed a barrage of laser fire, bright beams streaking through space toward the USS Valor. The crew scrambled to respond, their training kicking in as they activated the ship's defenses. "Raise shields!" the tactical officer shouted. The ship glowed with a bright blue light as its shields came up, absorbing the alien blasts. The impact rattled the ship, but they held strong. "Return fire!" Commander Lee ordered, his voice steady despite the chaos. The crew responded quickly, their fingers flying over the controls. The USS Valor fired back, beams of energy shooting toward the enemy fleet. The battle erupted in a dazzling display of lights and explosions. Alien ships were hit, their hulls cracking under the force of the human weapons. Commander Lee watched with a mixture of pride and fear as the USS Valor fought bravely. "Target their command ship," he commanded. "Take out their leader and the rest will scatter." The crew focused their fire on the massive alien command ship at the center of the fleet. It was heavily armed, but the crew of the USS Valor was determined. As the energy beams struck the command ship, explosions rocked the alien fleet. General Zarkon watched in horror as his flagship took hit after hit. "Retreat! Retreat!" he shouted, panic rising in his voice. "We cannot lose this battle." The alien ships, once confident and proud, began to falter. The USS Valor pressed forward, its crew working together with precision and bravery. "Keep firing! We can't let them escape!" Lee urged, his heart racing. The crew responded with renewed energy, pouring everything they had into the fight. As the battle raged on, a new sense of hope filled the bridge of the USS Valor. They were not just defending their planet, they were proving to the universe that humanity was strong and united. The alien armada, once an unstoppable force, was now in disarray. "Look!" the sensor officer cried out, pointing to the screen. "The aliens are retreating! They're fleeing!" Cheers erupted in the command center, but Commander Lee knew they couldn't celebrate just yet. "Stay focused, everyone. Let's make sure they remember this day." With the alien fleet in retreat, the crew of the USS Valor felt a wave of relief wash over them. They had faced the impossible and emerged victorious. But in the back of Lee's mind, he knew this was just the beginning. More challenges lay ahead, and humanity must remain vigilant. The battle for their home had only just begun. The battle was over, but the echoes of laser fire and explosions still rang in the minds of the alien fleet. The once mighty armada, filled with confidence, was now thrown into chaos. General Zarkon paced his command ship, his face twisted in anger and disbelief. He could not accept that a small human flagship had defeated them. "Status report!" Zarkon shouted, his voice booming through the ship's command center. The crew members exchanged nervous glances, fearing their leader's wrath. "General, we have lost several ships in the attack," one officer reported, trembling. "The humans are relentless. They have already destroyed our command vessel, and many ships are in disarray. Morale is plummeting." Zarkon clenched his fists, his frustration boiling over. "What are you saying? We are a powerful armada. We should not have lost to these humans." He slammed his fist on the console, sending sparks flying. In the midst of the chaos, fear spread among the ranks of the alien soldiers. Many had never seen such a fierce and determined human defense. Reports from different ships flooded in, each telling tales of destruction and defeat. "General, we are receiving distress signals from the front lines," another officer announced. "The human flagship is pursuing our remaining ships." "They refuse to let us escape!" Zarkon felt his heart race. Panic swept through the command ship. "These humans will not take us down easily. We must regroup and counterattack," he barked, trying to instill a sense of courage in his crew. "Prepare the fleet for another assault." But deep down, he sensed that the tides had changed. The humans had shown unexpected strength, and now the very foundation of his command was crumbling. Meanwhile, on one of the smaller alien ships, Commander Thrax listened intently to the reports coming in. His crew was terrified, whispering among themselves about the ferocity of the humans. They could see the massive USS Valor on their monitors, glowing brightly as it pursued the retreating ships. "What do we do?" one of Thrax's crew asked, his voice shaking. "They are not backing down. We cannot fight them alone." Thrax took a deep breath, trying to maintain his composure. "We must not show weakness. We have to reach out to the other ships and form a united front. If we scatter, we will be picked off one by one." As the crew began to communicate with other ships, they learned that many were already in retreat. The fear of defeat had spread like wildfire. The once feared alien fleet was now in a state of panic, fleeing from the very humans they had underestimated. On the bridge of the USS Valor, Commander Lee watched the alien ships scatter on the screen. The once proud armada was now a disorganized mess. "They're breaking formation!" he exclaimed, a sense of victory filling his heart. "They're terrified of us!" "Shall we pursue, Commander?" the tactical officer asked, excitement in his voice. "Yes," Lee replied without hesitation. "We cannot let them regroup. Follow them closely. We need to send a strong message that Earth is not to be trifled with." The crew cheered, their spirits high as they maneuvered the flagship toward the fleeing alien ships. The USS Valor surged forward, engines roaring with power. As they closed the gap, the crew prepared their weapons, ready for any chance to strike. Back on the command ship, General Zarkon struggled to regain control. "They cannot defeat us again," he shouted. "We must call for reinforcements. We will not let these humans destroy us." He sent out a distress signal, calling for help from the nearest alien fleet. But as the message left his ship, he knew it might be too late. The humans were relentless, and the fear among the ranks was palpable. "General, more ships are reporting they cannot hold their position," an officer exclaimed, panic in his voice. "They are abandoning the fight!" Zarkon felt his stomach twist with dread. The once mighty armada was now a fleeing shadow of its former self. He could see the USS Valor closing in on them, its weapons primed and ready for another attack. "Prepare to retreat!" Zarkon shouted, realizing the battle was lost. The aliens began to scatter, desperate to escape the fate that awaited them. The panic among the aliens grew as they raced through space, and their resolve weakened. The humans had shown their strength, and now the alien armada was running for its life. As the USS Valor chased the retreating fleet, Commander Lee knew this victory would change the course of history. The battle had begun, and humanity was ready to prove its worth. They would not just survive, they would thrive. The battle was over, and the stars shone brightly in the darkness of space. The USS Valor stood proud and strong, a symbol of humanity's courage and resilience. Commander Lee surveyed the damage from the recent battle, his heart swelling with pride. They had faced an overwhelming alien fleet and emerged victorious, but he knew this was just the beginning. "Report from the damage control team," Lee called out, his voice steady. The bridge crew quickly compiled the information. "Commander, the ship is mostly intact," the engineering officer replied. "We lost a few systems, but repairs are already underway. The crew is in high spirits." Lee nodded, pleased with the news. "Good. Prepare to return to Earth. We need to report our victory and share what we've learned." As the crew began the process of returning home, a sense of excitement filled the air. They had faced the unknown and triumphed. For many, this was not just a battle won, it was a moment that would define humanity's future. Meanwhile, back on the command ship of the alien fleet, General Zarkon was in turmoil. His plans had unraveled, and now he faced the consequences. His once proud armada lay scattered across the stars, a mere shadow of its former power. Zarkon clenched his fists in frustration. "We underestimated them," he admitted to his remaining officers, who stood nervously around him. "We thought the humans were weak, but they have shown strength we did not expect. We must regroup and prepare for what lies ahead." Zarkon's words were filled with anger and fear. The humans had ignited a spark of hope in their enemies, and now the universe would be different. He realized they would have to adapt or face extinction. Back on the USS Valor, Commander Lee prepared for the return journey. "Set a course for Earth," he commanded. "Let's get back home and share our story." As the ship navigated through the stars, the crew gathered in the common area, sharing stories and laughter. The atmosphere was filled with relief and joy. They had fought for their planet, and now they could celebrate their victory together. "We showed them what humans are capable of," a young crew member exclaimed, his eyes bright with excitement. "Yeah!" another chimed in. "They thought they could scare us, but we proved them wrong." Lee smiled at the camaraderie among his crew. They had faced danger and emerged stronger. It was a moment they would cherish forever. As the USS Valor approached Earth, Commander Lee's thoughts turned to the future. This victory was significant, but it also raised questions. Would the alien armada return? What other threats awaited them in the vastness of space? He knew humanity must be prepared. When they finally entered Earth's orbit, the cheers erupted on the bridge. The planet looked beautiful from space, a vibrant blue and green jewel. "Open a communication channel with command," Lee ordered. He wanted to share their story with the leaders of Earth. As the screen lit up with the face of Admiral Thompson, Lee felt a wave of pride wash over him. Admiral, this is Commander Lee of the USS Valor. We have returned from battle. The alien fleet has been defeated and we stand victorious. The Admiral's face lit up with joy. Excellent news, Commander. We were following your progress closely. Your victory will inspire hope across the planet. We will share this news with all of humanity. As the communication ended, Lee turned to his crew, who were still buzzing with excitement. This is just the beginning. We have proven ourselves today, but we must remain vigilant. Other threats may come. We need to prepare for the future. The crew nodded, understanding the weight of his words. They had won a battle, but the war for their survival had only just begun. Humanity had taken its first steps into the greater universe, and now it was time to show what they could do. In the weeks that followed, the USS Valor and its crew became symbols of hope and resilience. Their story inspired people around the globe. New programs were launched to prepare for potential alien threats, and a spirit of unity swept through Earth. Commander Lee stood on the bridge, watching the stars twinkle in the distance. He knew that humanity had changed forever. They were no longer just inhabitants of a small planet, they were part of a larger cosmos. With determination in his heart, he vowed to lead his crew into whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would protect Earth and explore the mysteries of the universe. This was a new beginning for humanity, and they were ready to embrace it.